Hi, it's Dawn from Create28, and I'm here today to talk to you about polymer clay beads. So first of all, I wanted to just say hi to you and let you know that the two brands that I particularly care for are Sculpey Primo and Fimo. And Fimo, both of them come in 2-ounce packages, kind of like this. And you can divide them pretty easily. And I'm using a red Fimo and a blue Fimo and a yellow Primo, which I ran out. I just had half of it. So those are the colors that I'm going to use today. Now there are a couple things that you do need when you're working with polymer clay, besides the polymer clay. And that is something to work on, and you're going to notice that I'm working on wax paper, something to put your beads in when you get through. And you see I'm going to put mine in this aluminum pan with copper batting. This is the type of batting you use when you quilt, so you can get it in any store, Walmart, any fabric store. Just get a little bit of it to line your pan with. You need some toothpicks or something to put holes in. You need something to cut your polymer clay. This is a cutter that's made of polymer clay, but you can create your own with a razor blade. And then I used 2 bits of clay here so that I knew which end was up and which end was down. So you need that, and you need something to roll the polymer clay out with. Now you can use a rolling pin, or you can use like an acrylic roller that's made specifically for polymer clay, or a lot of people use pasta machines, and that's what I use because it's a lot easier to use a pasta machine and roll it out on the pasta machine than it is with anything else. Whatever you use for polymer clay cannot be used for anything else, cannot be used for food or drink or anything. And when you're working with polymer clay, don't eat, smoke, anything like that. You don't want to transfer whatever's on your hands into your mouth. Okay, so that's what I've got. The other things I've got with me today are a CD and top of a CD case, and I'll show you why I'm going to use those in a little while. And I've already rolled my polymer clay out, so you'll see. I'll just bring this down here. I've got some thin rolls here of the 3 primary colors, and I'm just going to move that over here. Here's my pasta machine here that I can use to roll it out, and I'm going to use it because I'm going to create a Skinner blend. So I'll do that first. And notice I've already got these rolled out pretty thin. Now when you first get the polymer clay out, you're going to get it out. It's going to be a pretty hard block. And you're just going to have to warm it up in your hands, move it in your hands, maybe break it up a little bit, roll it around. Okay, what you want to do is just move it around some. Try to get it warm. The warmer it is, the easier it is to work with. And then you can start rolling it out with this, and then with your pasta machine. If you don't have a pasta machine, you can just start rolling it out with either a pin roller or this. Just, sorry, couldn't see that. Just rolling it out. Okay, but it takes forever to do it this way, so I'm impatient. I'm not going to do it that way. Okay, so like I said, I've got my colors already done. I'm just going to cut some off of here, and it's been a while since I've done a Skinner blend. It was named after the lady who developed it. So let me just make these kind of square. So I'm just squaring up the ends there. And squaring up the clay itself. Okay, and I'm just going to put this aside. So I've got yellow, red, and blue. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to overlap. The red really takes over, so I'm not going to use the whole block of red. And I'm just going to overlap the red and the yellow like so. I'm going to put the yellow against the red like that. Just do it this way. Try to get a triangle there. Okay, triangle. Okay, I'm trying to make a triangle there. And overlap the red and the blue. Okay, so what I got there is a hot mess, right? I'm just going to move this out of the way. Okay, I'm going to fold it this way. Yellow's old, so it doesn't want to behave. And then I'm going to run it through the pasta machine. So I'm just going to turn it over here so you can see what I'm doing. I've got it on a thick setting right now, so I'm going to put it to a thinner setting. And I'm going to roll it this way. And I need a thinner setting than that. Just going to fold it over a little bit. Fold it over a little bit in the center. This isn't exactly how you do a Skinner blend, but I'm trying to get it so that I can do it in the pasta machine. Okay. So now just keep folding it. The red is taking over. Move down that way. That way. Okay, so what I end up with is a rainbow. And I can do various things with this now. So one of the things I can do with this is just to roll it up. So that's what I'm going to start with. Just to make a jelly roll. Cut off the ends. squish it down. Okay. And now I can do a couple things with this. And cut it in half. And you see what I've got there? So I can cut it in half again. And I can quarter it. And put it back together. So it's a little bit different. Roll it, squish it. And what I'm doing here is I'm just making a cane, or what's called a cane. So I can put that together like that. Just roll it out, squish it together. Wrap it in yellow. And I've just kind of made a little design in there. Okay. So I can do about anything I want to now with this. I can make a bead, a disc bead. If you want them all to be the same size, you can put them next to a ruler. And I'm just rolling this a little bit so that it doesn't get out of shape. That was a little too big. So I've got some bead with some disc here, and just take my toothpick or anything that will add a hole. Toothpick adds kind of a large hole. I used to have, I still do. I think these hold legs together or something when you're cooking, like turkey legs. Can't remember what they're originally used for, but they make great skewers, make holes. So just make your holes for your beads, like so. and then put them down in your cotton batting. And I can just continue doing that with these. Okay, and I've got some scraps here. Never throw away your scraps because you can do some cool things with those. Okay. And just to show you something that you can do with them, let's take, yeah, it's a good size. Let's take this and roll it up. Okay. And I've got a round bead, right? I love doing this, it's really addicting. Take a cover or your CD and just start twirling around, going in one direction. Okay. And just continuing to twirl around. And if you come into the shop and you see some twirly beads, you'll see that this is how I make them. So I'm just going to keep twirling this around for a minute. Still going in the same direction. And that's what I get. Nice little twirly bead. And I can flatten that out some. Get my skewer. Add a hole. Now you can do a lot with polymer clay. Once you bake it, it's hard. It's bake it towards per the instructions. So this says bake at 265 for I have to read it more. Anyway, the instructions on here. 265 for 30 minutes. Whatever you do, don't ever over bake these things. Don't. The burning stinks. Trust me. Here's another one. Okay. I made some really, really pretty beads with just these three colors in the Skinner blend one time. And then once the beads are baked and cooled, you can polish them with a polymer clay polish. It's a Sculpey glaze that comes matte or glossy. Or what I like to do is to buff them with my Dremel. And that gives them a shiny finish without having to put the glaze on them, because I really don't like putting glazes on them. Okay, so again, see, it's addicting. So I'm gonna flatten that out a little bit and put my hole in here. Now you'll notice that there might be fingerprints on here. If you don't want your fingerprints on there, you can either wear gloves or you can take cornstarch and just kind of pat them down with cornstarch before you put them in to bake, and that'll help get rid of the fingerprints. Okay. And a note about baking. I'll put these, like I said, in this pan. I'll cover up the pan with aluminum foil to make sure that no polymers can kind of leak out, and put it in the oven. You shouldn't use the same oven that you use for cooking. I do have a toaster oven that is designated for my polymer clay beads. Okay. You can shape these any shapes you want to. You can make designs out of them. You can draw. You can draw on them. You can paint them. You can use alcohol inks on them. You can use acrylic paints on them. So it's up to your imagination what you want to do, because they're so versatile. Trying to make a flower, but that looks more like a dinosaur back. So as you can see, it's pretty, you can pretty much do anything with them. Clean up, you can see my hand's pretty dirty. Huggies, any kind of baby wipes are great for cleaning up. Again, just, you want to make sure that you'll clean up before you eat or smoke or drink. Clean up your area where you've been doing this. And that's about it for right now. If you have any questions, please post them, and I'll be sure to look at any comments and questions and respond to them. I hope you have a great day. Thanks.